Hello, my name is Suzanne Nally, and I'm going to present why we should do business in Poland and our 3 product ideas. Our team members include Andrea Phillips, Christy Douglas, Ginny Hodges, Mateo Kennedy, and Katie Widdison. There are 6 values that are compared between countries in the Hofstede cultural dimensions: power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, and indulgence. These values give us insights into potential differences that the United States has culturally from Poland, and what we need to be aware of so we can do business together. The United States and Poland are very similar in the values of masculinity and long-term orientation, both being somewhat competitive and assertive and wanting quick results in business. The main difference between the countries are in the areas of uncertainty avoidance and indulgence. Where the United States culture is more relaxed towards work, Polish culture is extremely risk adverse. Americans also are much more indulgent than the Polish, who value self-control in their country. On the global business cultural scale, Poland ranked confrontational. It will be expected for the Polish to debate and share their opinions and ideas openly in meetings to help come to the best conclusion, and we should do the same. Poland ranked almost in the middle of using explicit and implicit communication, slightly closer to explicit. Our team needs to plan on taking the time needed to build our relationship with the Polish to gain trust and improve communication. Poland ranked close to the direct negative feedback, which means we should expect the Polish people to give feedback that is to the point and may seem rude. They will also better understand our feedback if we use the same tactics. Poland leaned closer to a structured schedule, but not close enough to not expect them to also be flexible in their schedule. When planning projects and dates with the Polish, we will need to be patient and more flexible than normal to make sure that we build a better business relationship. When it comes to bargaining, it's important to identify the main pillars of Polish strategy. They focus a lot on long-term relationships in order to have future interactions as well. They tend to be very straightforward in their communications. This must not be mistaken with aggressiveness. And despite this aspect, they tend to prefer long negotiations in order to obtain what they want by putting time pressure. Ultimately, to them, avoiding risk is fundamental. In order to address these pillars in our negotiation strategy, we must make sure we are punctual and start off with some small talk in order to start a relationship. In our communications, we should be clear and blunt and use an interpreter if necessary. They are pleased by long negotiations, so we must be patient and avoid aggressive offers, but start off somewhere in the ballpark of what our expectations are. To help them avoid a feeling of risk, it's important that we demonstrate everything with hard data and be accommodating in offering assistance and warranties, and seal everything with a long and detailed contract. Finally, it is important to maintain the relationship even after the deal is concluded. The country of Poland has a democratic government and a constitution. In 1992, after 30 years of communist rule, Poland was able to regain its independence. Then, with more changes in 1997, Poland created a free market economy and the ability to have numerous political parties. There are many cultural, political developments that could affect business in Poland. Currently in the news is a story about allegations that the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau purchased spyware and is using it on its enemies. There is also news of a decision of a tax cut program, arguments over pay raises for politicians, changes in the court system, and bills over limiting broadcasting license. All of these situations could affect businesses in Poland, and any business owner needs to be aware of and watch the development. Poland's Economic Freedom Index average rating is 69.7, which is slightly over the world average of 61.6. Poland would be a great country to work with, as the scores show high government integrity, low government spending, as well as high fiscal health. and high financial freedom. Poland's financial sector is steadily growing, and they welcome foreign investments which are great for businesses looking to branch out internationally. The climate for foreign investors is steadily growing, and the U.S. is one of the largest groups of firms investing in Poland, showing us that there is a strong existing relationship between our country and Poland. Poland ranks 40th of 190 countries on the ease of doing business. Poland's processes tend to take longer than most countries, and the startup costs tend to be higher. However, running a business in Poland may cost less than comparable countries. Electricity costs are lower, as are property registration costs and contract enforcement costs. In addition to the lower costs, the ease of trade accessibility to personnel makes it an appealing place for a new venture. In Poland, the products with lower average MFN applied tariffs are mineral fuels and wood and paper. When you see the lower tariffs on certain products, it creates a prospect to develop a company in Poland that needs these items and find a nation that has the resources you need and then have them imported into Poland. Poland's most beneficial free trade agreements are with the European Free Trade Association, which promotes free trade and economic integration between its countries. Poland is also a member of the EU Customs Union, which means there are no custom duties or checks between EU member countries at their borders. Poland may move its goods freely within the Union. Poland is very attractive to foreign investors due to the incentives from their government to bring investments into areas with high unemployment rates. They offer large income tax breaks. The percentage of tax breaks vary by region, so it would be very worthwhile to look into investing in the regions with the highest tax incentives for us to do business. It would also be wise to select an industry that would increase the tax incentives that we are able to receive. Some of these include research and development and any kind of technological or robotic industries. Poland's steadily increasing gross national income indicates that the economy is growing and that wealth is increasing. Poland's GNI increased by 20% in 5 years between 2016 and 2020. By comparison, the U.S. growth rate was only 13% in the same time frame. Gross domestic product has continued to rise as well. Not counting 2020, Poland has had an average gross domestic product growth rate of 3.53% for the past 20 years. Inflation rates in Poland were at an all-time high of 8.6% in December of 2021, which would normally be cause for concern, but looking more closely, the United States also has extremely high inflation rates. So as long as we watch those numbers closely, it should not have a major impact on our business. Inflation and lending rates are increasing, but this seems to be a worldwide trend. As long as this is kept in mind throughout preparation, research, and planning, it shouldn't be a problem. The GNI and GDP growth are good indicators that Poland would be a great place to start a business venture. As of February 2nd, 2022, the Polish zloty was about 0.2492 cents to the dollar. In the last 5 years, its highest point has been in February of 2018, where due to a 4.5% GDP growth, it reached 0.301 cents to the dollar. Its lowest point registered was back in March of 2020 when it fell to 0.2345 cents to the dollar due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. During that time, the zloty suffered a 6% weakening against the US dollar. In order to face these fluctuations and protect the company from losing money, if the zloty value keeps dropping against the US dollar, our best option is to use forward contracts, which guarantees a fixed exchange rate. We can be sure to make negotiations that will make us the profits our company needs, avoiding the risk that sometimes accompany exchange rates. According to Farmers Weekly, more than 60% of the land in Poland is agricultural and is mostly made up of smallish family farms. There are about 1.4 million of these small farms in the country. Products that increase the output and decrease time and labor costs would greatly benefit the profitability of these small farms. Poland is a significant fruit producer in Europe. It produces peaches, apricots, apples, pears, and many kinds of berries. A solar-powered fruit picker would be an environmentally friendly, labor-saving tool that would help small family farms be more competitive and profitable. There is only one other competitor in the market, Agrobot, which currently runs on fuel. As a solar-powered picker, our robot would be one of a kind and would have at least temporary competitive advantage. The International Trade Administration has recognized agricultural machinery and equipment and environmental technologies as important sectors with the best prospects of market opportunities. In 2019, there were 7.7 million dogs and 6.6 million cats in Poland. The population of pets has been increasing each year, with last year having an increase of 1.8%. Also talking with a friend from Poland, he mentioned the main big cities in Poland have pet hotels, but the level of service is low, and many pet owners regret leaving their pet with them and look for other solutions. With the number of pets increasing every year, the need for pet sitters and trainers is going to increase. To help fill this need in the market, we would like to introduce the virtual pet sitter to the Polish. The virtual pet sitter allows owners to be able to watch their pet's behavior while at work, check in on them, offer treats or rewards for good behavior, record and even talk to their pet. This is the perfect solution for pets while owners are away or at work, or even gone on a quick trip. The pet can stay there where they are familiar, and all that is needed is a friend to walk the dog and feed them. This will reduce the expenses of dog hotels and feelings of discomfort when leaving their pets with someone they don't know. The Polish are known to love their pets and treat them as family members. This product is a great way for a pet owner to monitor the pet's behavior, train, interact with the pet, capture entertaining footage, and have peace of mind while away. With this in mind and the growing population of pets in Poland, this would be a great product to market and offer. Pesto is an Italian sauce obtained by smashing basil leaves, Parmesan nuts, and extra virgin olive oil. Italian pesto is imported all over the world, but this raises its price in foreign countries. According to the firstnews.com, close to 1/3 of Poles prefer domestic food over imported products. To face this, our idea is to import some of the products from Italy, such as Parmesan and extra virgin olive oil, and grow our own basil using Italian basil seeds. We would then locally produce and sell the sauce. This could guarantee Italian quality of the final product, but also give the Poles the importance of a local production. Italians use pesto mainly on pasta, but the greatness of this product is that it can be used in many different ways that can better meet the taste of the Poles. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time and attention.